And some of the questions we got, this question right here, and some of them are repetitive. So we'll just do one unless I think it's very important. This is 2.3, well, skills review. Question number 2. So this is the skills review. So I'll put SR number 7. I'm trying to, it says SR 9.7/2. So I don't know what that means, but I know the 2 means it's skills review question number 2. So let's see what it says. And it says use the graph of y is equal to e to the x. Oh, okay, vertical and horizontal shifts. So y is equal e to the x is your parent graph. And they want you to draw, I'll do it in a different color. Let's do blue. F of x, well, that's not blue, that's more like a lavender. E to the negative x minus 3. All right, the first thing you need to do is go to your parent graph, and you need to actually make sure you have e to the x in your parent graph. Okay, that's the first thing you need to do. Hold on just a second. They're giving us more options on our Teams is putting in a lot of different stuff now. So I'm having to set more things. So y'all just bear with me a minute. See, now when you go to enrollment, it has me as the organizer and it has y'all as students. So now I can see how many students are, oh, shut up. Anyway, here is the problem. And of course, you already know that your parent graph looks like something like this. That's your parent graph. And this right here, what does that say? Well, what does this negative say? What does negative always tell you as far as a parent graph? It's going in the opposite what?
Direction.
And what does this -3, since it's not connected to the x, is this a horizontal shift or a vertical shift? If it's not connected to the x.
That's a vertical shift.
Vertical shift. So we got opposite direction and a vertical shift down 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And we know it's a line that looks like this. So I'm just going to draw it as best I can. Should look like that. I don't know how you draw that on the actual, but we'll see what we can do on the drawing.
It's like impossible, Hubert, to draw that line on that graph.
Well, do the best you can. I probably won't do that as a test question. And if I do, I'll probably end up giving it to everybody.
It's just hard to get it accurate.
You can do it by hand. It's easier to do it by hand.
Okay.
So I'm just saying if you're asked, it's easier to do that one by hand. I don't even know. You would have to do e to the x, which would be a curve. And let's see, I'm starting from up here. I don't even know how you would actually. Okay, there's that. Okay, here we go. You know it's going to be reflected around the y-axis. It's going to be reflected around the y-axis. And you know you're going to have a vertical shift of 3 down. Oops. That looks right. Something like that. It's a miracle. What is the domain of e to the domain is all real numbers. Why? Because this is an arrowhead and this is an arrowhead. Well, it looks like it converges on -3. I'm sorry. So it's going to be from -3 to infinity. Do you include -3?
No, because it
No.
gets infinitely close to -3.
So that would be parentheses, -3, comma, infinity, and parentheses. Ooh, well, I guess I'm not correct. Thought that'd be -3. Looked like -3. Interval notation. I did interval notation. I don't know what to see what they get. No. Can't be negative infinity. Because if you plug in -3, well, at first I thought it was all real numbers. Let's see what happens when you plug in -3 into the function. So second e to the -3, and then -3. Hold on, -3. Is that it? Enter. Okay, you do get a y. So it does. That's just an optical illusion. It's negative infinity to positive infinity. Let's plug in -4. Let's plug in -4 and see what we get. Yep. So that just looks like it doesn't. It caught me. I thought it was all real numbers at first. And then I looked at it and it looked like it was going to be a vertical asymptote at -3. But it's not, because if you plugged in -3 and it gave you an undefined function, then it would be -3, and we should have done that. What is the range? The range is from -3 to infinity. -3 to infinity. So looks like it's converging onto -3. We could solve it for -3. Let's see, -3. Let's do that. Let's go with -3. Let's see what happens when you plug in -3. -3 is equal to e to the x, -x minus 3. Bring that over. That becomes 0 is equal e to the -x, which is equal to 0 is equal to log base e of e to the x. I'm sorry, that's not, that's y, a to the y is equal to x. I don't think this is going to work. So that's going to be log y is -x is equal log base e of x. -x is equal log base e is the natural log of x. I don't think that's going to work. So I would say it's non-inclusive. So -3, we'll go with -3 to infinity. And it doesn't like, I hope that's right. Okay. What's the y-intercept? -2. We see that right there because it's 3 steps down. What is the horizontal asymptote? Well, it looks like -3 is the horizontal asymptote. Okay, I guess it's not. Horizontal asymptote looks like -3. Well, let's see,
Oh, you gotta do-
-3.
You gotta do
Huh?
y equals -3.
I'm sorry, what?
It says type in.
I didn't hear what you said. Microphone's going in and out.
Oh, my bad. It says to type in equation.
Oh. You want to type in the equation?
I kept muting my computer for some reason.
It's just y equals -3.
Okay, whatever. Y is equal to -3, whatever. 6 of one, half dozen the other. Now, I like that question, but it's really not, it's not a question that we need for the test, but it's a question that you need to be able to do before you do this, this chapter or this section. It's a lot, it's basically, there's no calculus in this. This is all algebra. Okay. This is review 951, number 6. AR 9.51/6. So this is number 6. And e to the t is equal to 859. Well, I guess you're supposed to solve it. So we're going to solve it. The first thing you got to do, you got to recognize what you got. E to the t is equal to 859. All right, what do you got here? Well, first of all, you've got E. So you know that natural log is going to be involved here because E to the t, anytime you've got a rational with E, you're going to have to use natural log. So let's write that down. And I assume that's what they want you to do here. Anytime you have E with an exponent, a exponential variable, with an exponential variable.
Hubert, is this still on the review section?
Yeah,
Okay.
exponential variable. We did this in the logarithms, solving logarithms equations, solving logarithmic equations. Anytime you have E with an exponential variable, you're going to use the natural log. Take the natural log of both sides. Somebody remember from review, what does the natural log do to the E? Well, let's go to the handy dandy calculator and see. Natural log of E to the 2.1456789. Hold on a second. It's the only thing I hate calculators. There you go. Anybody have a guess what it's going to be? It's going to be 2.1456789. So what happens when you take the natural log of E? That means I want somebody to say something. It's called a meeting. It's called conversation. Bar rescue.
Don't you just get one?
Look at the problem I just did on the calculator. Did I get 1?
The natural log of e, or just e to the?
The natural log of e to a variable or to a number. What do you
Oh,
get?
you get the variable. You get to the
You
variable.
get, so what happens to the natural log of e? What happens to it? Red. I'm getting the red marker out. What happens?
It
The natural
cancels
log
out.
cancels
You're
the
just left
e,
with the exponent.
and that leaves t is equal to the natural log of 859. So natural log of 859, 6.7558. Now I'm going to make you do another one of these because these questions are very valuable, because anybody that's going to take Calc 2 or Diff-EQ, you're going to be going into these problems, okay? So I wanted you to make a note about this one. I'm going to leave it on the board a few seconds. And I don't know what they want us to round it to, but let's see, 6.7558, that should be enough. Four decimal places. 6.7558. And we feel good about ourselves. Good test question. Let's do a nerd so you can feel discouraged. Go ahead. I'll blow it up for you because somebody's going, I can't see, I can't see it. Got a class full of divas. There we go. I'm going to let y'all do this one. Give you about 30 more seconds. Somebody's having their wisdom teeth pulled. I got an attaboy this week. I don't know if I told y'all about my letter from a very satisfied student to the president. Did I tell you about that?
No.
And in this week's Edge, that's our weekly newspaper that comes out, The Edge, since we are cutting edge technology. You know what I think it should be called? The brick phone. I'm bad, aren't I? I shouldn't be like that, should I? That's a pretty good newsletter, the brick phone. Anyway, it was a very nice letter written to our president saying that I was awesome. And y'all don't communicate very well. All right, here we go. e to the t is equal to 287. And we know that we've got e to the variable. So I'm going to take the natural log of both sides. And e to the t, or natural log of e, cancels out and leaves you with t is equal to the natural log of 287. And somebody give me 4 decimal places, please.
5.6595.
And that should be your answer. Again, this no calculus here. This is just a review.
And these can just go in the calculator, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to do it for you?
No, I know how to do it. I was just making sure like we weren't supposed to
Yeah.
be like.
No calculus here. No calculus, just algebra and calculator. Let me delete these two. AR 47/5. AR 47/5. AR 47/5. 4 to the x is equal to 24. Okay, this is just a simple equation. Solve it. And I will tell you this, give you a hint. You're going to do something to both sides. It really doesn't matter which one you do. You can do, well, you're going to do both sides. So I'll just give everybody a second or two to do it. So go ahead and solve it, see what you get. And if you can't solve it, then that means you're pretty much a disappointment to me and the whole class. So please don't raise your hand and say you can't do it. Anybody know what you're going to do on both sides? I don't know if that's a
Would you
process.
take the natural log of both sides?
Take the log or the natural log of both sides. Good job. Or you can take log of both sides. Okay, so I'm going to put, I got new highlighters. I'm going to go on Amazon and see if they got some different colors though. Or I took the log of both sides. Now, what does that open up? When I do that, what does it open up? Somebody tell me what law of logarithms does that open up? There's only like 4 laws of logarithms or properties. What property does it open up when I do that? Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, well, you can take the log of 24 in your calculator. No, that's not it. It doesn't have anything to do with log of 24 or natural log of 24. Somebody tell me what property you can use from the properties of logarithms on the left-hand side. Power rule, Hubert. That's right, class, the power rule. And that'll give you x natural log of 4 is equal to the natural log of 24, or x log of 4 equals log of 24. Now what? Now it's just an algebra problem, Hubert, and you divide by the natural log or the log of 4. That's right, class. Y'all are on the ball. So x is equal to natural log of 24 over the natural log of 4, or x is equal to log of 24 over log of 4. And somebody give me 4 digits, please. 4 decimal places, please.
$2.2925.
Okay, say it one more time.
2.2925.
Is that correct? $2.2925. That's it. Okay, that takes care of all the reviews, or the whatever reviews they call it. 2.329/18. 2.329/18. 2.329/18. Okay. Students in zoology class took a final exam. They took equivalent forms of the exams at monthly intervals thereafter. After T months, T is equal to months. The average score, S of T, is the average score. Was found to be given by the following equation, where T, which is time, has got to be greater. You can't have -5 months. So all are going to be positive. T is going to be positive. And you have S of T is equal to 73 minus 13 natural log of T plus 1. And T is between 0 and 80 months. T is between 0 and 80 months.
You have a work email.
Okay. Now, you are going to use a little bit of, I can tell you right now that this is a science class, so you're going to use the derivative in here somewhere, because that's why we have derivatives, first and second and third derivatives for science classes and physics classes. All right. So I can tell you right now, but this word initially, can somebody tell me what initially means? Somebody tell me what the word initially means.
When they first took it,
When they first took it, so T would be 0. Initially, always, and I'm going to write this in green because you need to remember this in science. A, and I'm going to write down the word initially. Yes, I have to look at it because it's got too many letters in it. Initially, sorry, hold on. When you see the word initially in science, that usually means the beginning, the start, the benchmark. And that usually means T is equal to 0. Okay, usually the starting temperature equals to 0. X is equal to 0. Height is equal to 0. Usually when you see the word initially, that means that you're starting from 0. So therefore, we're going to plug in what? We're going to plug in chug 0. So S of 0 is equal to 73 minus 13 natural log of 0 plus 1. 73 minus 13 natural log of 1. So here we go. 73 minus parentheses 13 times the natural log of 1. And I get 73. Because what is the natural log of 1? Well, let's look, since nobody's going to answer. The natural log of 1 is equal to what? Oh, 0. That's a property, Hubert. Yes, that's right, class. So what does the natural log of 1 do to this second term? It zeroes it out, Hubert. Thank you, class. I appreciate y'all interacting with me. It helps class so much. So 73 is the initial.
Gmail.
So you got a starting score of C. This is going to suck. This is really going to suck. Okay, y'all going to have to, somebody type something in. You get exponent as your number. Okay, thank y'all for answering, but I don't switch over to the, okay, I'll leave it over there. All right. I don't usually leave it on the conversation. I leave it on the enrollment so I can see who's in the class. So I appreciate y'all interaction. I just didn't see it. All right, the average score after 4 months. So what are you going to do? Plug and chug what?
4.
There you go. Y'all are on fire. S of 4 is equal to 73 minus 13 natural log of 4 plus 1. 73 minus 13 natural log of 5. Or you could actually type this in your calculator. Let me show you a trick I learned in the war. Hit clear, clear. You could actually type in y is equal to 73 minus 13 natural log of, what did they say, tx, x plus 1. And hit graph. And of course, you don't need that, so I'm going to turn the second stat plot, turn that off. And hit zoom standard or zoom fit. Which one is zoom fit? 0. And now you can just hit table, second table. And what is our 0 number? 0 is 73. And what do we need now? We need 4. 52.077.
That's so much easier.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you want to do. It really does. Now, if you know the question is going to ask for 15 numbers, then yeah. But if you don't know, then how do you know? I mean, how do you know it's going to ask unless you've done the homework problem 2 or 3 times? 52.1. And in this problem, they're going to ask you for 3. So I would do this on this question when you do it. I would just do this. What they asked for, 24, which is 2 years. It's going to suck. 24. Oh, don't hold down the freaking. I'm just about ready to quit. Maybe I need to retire. 31.155. S of 24 is equal to 31.155. 31.2. Find your first derivative. Go ahead and do that, people. Find your first derivative. I guarantee you somebody's going to mess this up. S of t is equal to 73 minus 13 natural log of t plus 1. And they want you to find the first derivative. And somebody tell me what the first derivative of 73 is.
0.
Good job. Minus, now what? Well, that's going to be 13 times, what's the derivative of the natural log of t plus 1?
Is it 1?
Okay. What?
Is it just 1?
1 over what? T plus 1, Hubert. Now, we spent a whole class on that. I want to say last Tuesday. We spent a whole class on taking the derivative of the natural log of something, or the log of something. It's 1 over that function, multiplied by the derivative of what's inside, which is 1, which would be 1. So S of t, S prime of t is equal to negative 13 over t plus 1. Now, why would anybody mess that up? Anybody want to take a guess? This guy right here. You'll lose that if you don't be careful. So I got negative 13 over t plus 1. Let's see what the answer is. Negative 13 over t plus 1. I don't like the way it looks, but we are smart. Now what we're going to do, we're going to plug in. Now, if they're asking for 2 numbers here, so you can do the tangent if you want to and plug it in. I'm going to do that. So take your calculator. Y is equal to, and we're going to do that in magenta. And that's going to be 13 over, negative 13 over t plus 1. And graph. And table. Now let's see what they're asking for. They're asking for 4 and what? 24. 4 is negative 2.6. So S prime of 4 is equal to negative 2.6. S prime of 24 is equal to negative 0.52. Now, they're going to ask you some questions about these two guys right here. And I want you to think of science or real life. What does the derivative tell us? The derivative is, the derivative is the equation for the what line? The equation for the what line? Oh my God. I've only been teaching this since I don't know
Tangent
when.
line.
Thank you. Equation for the slope, of the tangent line at any point on the curve S of t. Okay, so that is the equation for the slope of the tangent line at any point on the curve S of t. Somebody tell me what this tells you. At x is equal to 4, the slope is what? Negative 2.6. At x is equal to 24, the slope is what?
Negative 0.52.
And what does this mean? Well, this means, what does negative mean in business?
A loss.
It means a loss. It means decreasing. Negative means decreasing / loss at x is equal to 4 or 24, because what? You got a negative here and a negative here. So at those 2 points, at x is equal to 4 and x is equal to 24, that means that you are decreasing 2.6 points and 0.52 points meaning on a test. You're decreasing almost 3 points here, and you're decreasing a half a point here. So at t is equal to 4 months, or whatever, I think it was months, we are decreasing 2.6 points at that point. And at x is equal to 24 months, we are decreasing at half a point at 24 months. So that's what that's saying. That's a good test question. I like that one as a test question. So, S of 4 is equal to negative 2.6. I don't care about the rounding. Which means the average score is decreasing by 2.6 points a month. And S of 24 is equal to negative 0.52, which means that after 24 months, the average score is decreasing by half a point a month. Now, why am I saying a half a point and 3 points? Because when you're interpreting, I don't care really if you raise, I don't care whether it's 2.6 or 3 points. $2.6 million or $3 million. Okay, I'm going to say 3 million in a meeting, and I'm going to say $500,000 right here. I'm not going to say, oh, that would be 2.6 million and 0.52 million. So anyway, that should be your answer. I like this question. This is a good test question. So write that one down as a test question. It's got everything in it. Next question. Now that should take care of these 329s right here. So Hollister, Holcomb, and Abrams, how are we feeling?
I got it.
Good. Anybody else want to say anything? You know, interact, you know. Y'all suck.
I think
All
that
right.
question was a lot, Hubert.
I know. There's a lot to take in. 27, this is 2.3, 27. Actually, there was about 3 or 4 test questions on that one homework question. 2.3, 27/17. And we only got one question sent from Miss Abrams. Is Miss Abrams here today? Yeah, she's here. She's just not talking, not interacting. Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Brick phone. There we go.
Edge.
Yeah, buddy. Cutting edge technology. Blackboard. The demand for a new computer game can be modeled as P of X is equal to 46 minus 3 natural log of X. And X is what? P of X is the price consumers will pay. So P of X is the price consumers will pay and in dollars, and X is the number of games. X is equal to number of games sold. Okay. Recall the total revenue. Don't forget, and they're giving you this right here. This is in green because you need to do this in the first step. The revenue, R of X, revenue is what you bring in after or the total. In other words, whatever you bring in, what the cash register brings in, that's revenue. Everybody with me? Yeah, Hubert, I understand. X times P of X. All right, so here we go. We got all this information. And the first thing they're going to want you to do, they want you to find R of X. So R of X, A, is this right here. So I'm going to multiply X times 46 minus 3 natural log of X. And I'm going to distribute that, and that's going to give me 46X minus 3X natural log of X. And that is the answer for A. So 46X minus 3X natural log of X. All right, find your first derivative. So let's go back and find your first derivative. B, find your first derivative. So we're going to call this P prime of X. Well, R prime of X, really. I'm going to let y'all do it because you're going to have to do what property in this one? What property of derivatives are you going to have to do?
Chain rule?
Nope, not chain rule.
Product rule then?
Product rule right here. Product rule. And there's something you need to remember. Why am I putting brackets around this? Anybody know why I'm putting brackets? Anybody?
Remember that it's negative?
That negative right there. That negative is going to get you if you don't remember to distribute it. All right, get to work. And if you can't, don't worry about it. It's just, means failure. That's all. Oh my gosh, Dogecoin is up.
What's it at?
Dogecoin jumped up this morning to 6 cents. 6.5 cents. Wow, that's a lot. But it's down now to, it's still at 6 cents at 0.060. But this morning at 9:55, it jumped up to 0.065. I'm just waiting for it to jump up to 1 or 2,000. I'll take $1,000. I don't have to get up as much as Bitcoin, but it can just go up to $1,000 coin. I can retire off of that. God, if it went up to 1,000, yeah, I could retire. So use Bitcoin. Use Dogecoin. Some of y'all have no earthly idea what I'm talking about. It's your parents' fault.
Which app do you day trade, Hubert?
Yeah,
Which app do you use for it?
I use both. I have Robinhood and Stash.
You seen the big Robinhood scandal, right?
Yeah, but it hadn't hurt me at all.
Yeah.
I
I'm talking about the one with GameStop.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. In fact, I have my, what's it called? AMC. I have my AMC and Stash. So my AMC, it didn't affect me that much. And I didn't have GameStop. I don't have GameStop stock, so it really didn't bother me. Yeah, my daggum AMC stock is down to, it's like way down. Let's see, what is my AMC down to now? Yeah, I'm down 30%.
I bought some stock for the vaccine and made some money off of it.
Yeah, I have pharmaceutical stock.
It was risky, but I was like, well, I'll cash in on this vaccine.
Yeah. So, but I'm putting all my money in Dogecoin. Heck, even if it goes up to 10 cents, I'll make, my money back. I mean, I just hope people keep buying it. And like I said, if it just gets up to $1,000 a coin, I can retire. So I think I've got like 3,000 shares. That'd just be $3 million. That's all. But you can't go wrong buying stuff like 0.05 or 0.03. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, unless you just don't know when to sell it. All right. So 46 minus first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. And that's going to give us 46 minus 3x times 1 over x plus natural log of x times 3. So that's going to be 46 minus 3x over x plus 3 natural log of x. Now, a lot of y'all are probably saying, golly, why is he doing so many steps? Because if you don't do what you're supposed to here, you're going to screw this problem all up. Okay, so now I go to the next step. I'll just fold this in half. Oops, sorry. Thought I folded it in half. I suck. There we go. Now watch, since I did all this step by step, but some of the guys in here just can't do it because they're not, 46 minus brackets 3 plus 3 natural log of x. And this is where you're going to mess up. If you don't do everything right, what does that negative do to both of these? Makes them the opposite sign. And 46 minus 3 is not 49. I guarantee you somebody got 49. And that's r prime of x. 43 minus 3 natural log of x. Not 49 plus 3 natural log of x. And that is the one that, and I'll put it in brown because that's the wrong answer. 49 plus 3 natural log of x. That is not the right answer. And that's what people get when they do this problem between the two blue lines of your notebook paper, because you're special and you can skip steps. Well, if you got 49 or you didn't get what I got, you're not special and you don't need to skip steps. So let's type that in and pray that I didn't get it wrong. All right. 43 minus 3 natural log of x. And you feel good about yourself. So you don't have to put too much makeup on and have an orange face and a white neck. Guys, run as fast as you can. The male equivalent to orange face and a white neck, Oompa Loompa, that's the female. The male equivalent to that is sunglasses inside. Girls, sunglasses inside, run. Run in the other direction, because that is a future domestic violence. Control. I'll shut up. How many units will be sold? Oh, on Bar Rescue, they had a bartender that wore sunglasses while he was tending bar. And the guy fired him, or told him to take his sunglasses off or he'd be fired, because wearing sunglasses inside, you have issues. That's what the guy said. That was funny. All right. How many units will be sold if the price that consumers are willing to pay is $40? Well, C, 40 is equal to 43 minus 3 natural log of x. And solve for x, because they're asking how many. So minus 43 minus 43, negative 3 is equal to negative 3 natural log of x. Divide by negative 3. Divide by negative 3. Natural log of x is equal to negative or positive 1. And that is basically, you can rewrite this, or 1 is equal to log base e of x, however you want to write it. And that basically means you can rewrite this as a to the y. So e to the 1 is equal to x. E to the 1 comes out to be 2.7 something. Or am I using the wrong? Hold on a second. I may be using the wrong. I am using the wrong. I'm supposed to be using 46. My bad. I used r prime. Sorry. Let me redo that one. C. I'm sorry. Hold on. 40, use the original equation, equals, what is the original equation? 46, because that's the original equation. That tells you the units and the price and all that. 46, there we go, minus 3 natural log of x. How did I know I was wrong? Because when you're doing one of these problems at C, e to the first is not going to be your answer. It's going to be e to the second, or e to the third, or e to the negative third, or something like that. All right, so that'd be minus 46, and that's going to be negative 6 is equal to negative 3 natural log of x. Divide by negative 3. There we go. That's a whole lot better. And natural log of x is equal to negative, be positive 2, or 2 is equal to log base e of x. And by using the definition of a logarithm, which I taught you back in the review section, definition of a logarithm by definition of logarithm, this is y is equal to log base a of x is equal a to the y, e to the second is equal to x. And that's going to give us, let's go e to the second on our calculator. That's going to be second quit, second natural log of 2, 7.38906, and they're going to ask you to multiply that by 1,000, and that's going to be 7389. $73.89. There you go. The reason they're doing 1,000 is because the formula, the equation is done in thousands. Now, where I messed up a while ago when I did this right here, that's not right because, well, no, when I set, this. I was setting the 40 equal to the derivative. That gives you something totally different. I caught myself before I finished. You got to set the 40 equal to the original equation because the original equation, this is how many units are sold, and this is the cost. So at $40 a unit, you're going to be making money at $73.89. Okay? And more than that, you're going to be losing money. $73.89. $73.89. That's a good question. I don't mind doing that question. That's a good one. Just remember on C, set the 40 equal to the original equation. Okay. Miss Abrams, did that help? I hope it did.
It did.
Thank you. All right, we got some 21s here. 21, 2.3. Okay, we're out of time. I've just looked at the time, so I'm going to erase these right here. Hold on a second. I'm going to erase these 3. I think we went over right here. I'm going to erase those. And we will continue with homework questions Thursday. And I will also start 2.4 and 2.5. Okay? Y'all get out of here and have a good afternoon. Make sure you leave the room.
See you,
because
Hubert.
if I force you out of the room, that means, and if you come after I called the roll, stay. I got to call the roll again. Rest of y'all get out of here. If I called your name earlier, get out. See ya. Okay, let me check the roll.